Hi, it's Matt Moran with the IT Career Toolkit podcast. This is episode number 16. Today we're going to talk about kicking off a consulting business, and this has come up due to some questions sent to me, and also me kind of reminiscing about starting consulting. And so I want to relay a story, and the conversations I end up having with people is how much does it cost, what kind of equipment, what kind of advertising do I need to do. And I'm always pointing the person back to say, you have everything you need. If you have a PC or a laptop and you have a plain paper printer, you can start consulting and you can earn decent money doing it. And I get some pushback on that from time to time. So I want to relay a story. I will not use the names of these individuals. They're friends of mine, and we still correspond from time to time. But many years ago, I was working for a company and was out on a project back east. And after work one day, me and the network manager and a couple of his engineers went out to dinner. And over dinner, we started talking about the nature of technology, and I explained that I had a few side clients and was ultimately going to embark on my own and do an independent consulting practice. And we started talking about doing that together and forming a company together. And I said, well, that would be awesome. We would have a West Coast and an East Coast presence, a couple different cities, and we could really specialize in a particular industry. And as I threw the idea around, my friend said, well, but we need capital. We need to get a business loan. And I said, why do we need a business loan? Because we need to have equipment. We need to have this. We need to have that. We have office space. And I said, listen, all we need to have is internet connection and our PCs, and we can kick this off, and we can appear, that we can do work for any company. Nothing would really be a barrier in this case. And he said, well, what about marketing and collateral material? And I brought out a plain paper trifold flyer that I had, and it was titled, Welcome to the Information Age. And I wish I could find it. It had a little essay on how it wasn't about computer. People were calling it the computer age at the time. It wasn't about the machine. It was about the information and how we provided that information or utilized that information or automated pieces of that information. And I still believe that to be true. And this person looked at my plain paper flyer with a little goofy Microsoft graphic on it, just from clip art, and he said, well, I would never hire you off of this. And I said, then I would never work for you. It wasn't a complicated endeavor. I'm not looking for the people who weren't going to hire me, just the people who were going to hire me. And he kind of laughed that off a little bit, and I went back to California and was working for this company, and in about 3 months had landed several large clients that prompted me to give notice and leave this company and start consulting full-time. About a year later, I had developed some full-color trifolds and some other material, and had some contractors and staff working at my company, and I sent those back to him, and I said, look, this is, now I have all that professional material. What's to stop us now? And I was trying to point out, and I we had a conversation about it, that, look, those plain paper flyers, they got me just as much business as the really snazzy four-color ones. There was no difference. I didn't see a huge increase when we made sales calls, suddenly getting more business because we had a four-color flyer. And really, it simplified the process of creating a company and creating a consulting business. I understood and still understand that it just comes down to numbers. Today, my sales process is very similar. I have a plain paper profile of the services I provide. I walk into a company that I'm interested in working with, and I say, this is a resume of sorts. I'm a computer technology and business professional. Take a look at what I do, and if there's an interest, I would love to talk to you. I grab a card and I leave. That's it. I don't have some secret sales technique. And really, they just see whether or not they need what I need at that given time. And I had several conversations yesterday with somebody who said, I think I have people who need what you're providing. And so I grab their card and I'll follow up with them. And they may or may not turn into clients. But in the end, it really comes down to numbers. As a matter of fact, I walked into one company, and it was an insurance company, small, I think 1 or 2 person office. And I talked to, or the owner took my information. He said, oh, this is interesting. And as I walked out, he said, hey, good luck. And I said, well, luck really has nothing to do with it. It's just numbers. And he said, well, good numbers then. And I think that's probably the single most important message I could leave with you is there is no barrier to entry on a simple consulting practice. You can start it part-time and you can develop it over time, but the most important thing is to start getting your information out in front of people. It doesn't have to be the most complex information. You don't need a 4-color flyer. You don't need a slick graphic or logo. What you need is to get in front of enough people with your expertise to kick things off. And so hopefully you can take that to heart and not be stuck in the mindset that was there at that steakhouse many years ago of we need to have all this stuff in place before we can kick it off. You can kick it off today with nothing more than a plain paper resume that lists out your great skills or projects you've worked on. So hopefully that gives you some insight into how to start a consulting practice, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.